What's good, guys? It's CSG. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 beginner tips that you need to know before you jump into the Illuvium Overworld. Let's go. The first biggest tip is to always jump before you shoot. This is super important, and it's not just in the early game, it's for the forever game, because what it does when you actually jump and shoot, it slows time down. So it actually gives you a bit more time to get your accuracy on point. I know there are many of us, me in particular, who absolutely suck at first-person shooters. So if we were going in guns blazing like Rambo, we would get fucked up. But if you see, for an example, right here, we've got this here. If I'm able to jump, I'm able to aim and knock that in. As long as you jump and shoot, that's going to be how you optimize your runs in this game and maximize every opportunity that you can get. So as we can see, there's actually another singularity up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump and shoot to show you guys why slowing time down is going to be super important. Boom. And it's just that easy. Like, you don't need to worry about missing it. Like, it's very rare that you are going to miss it. And boom, there you go. By doing this, you're going to save yourself so much time and get much better opportunities by actually taking your time with it and slowing it down rather than going in and just going crazy with your gun. Beginner tip number 2, and that is every time you actually shoot one of these singularities in your early game, and honestly, I think this is a good thing to do late game as well, is make sure when you interact, scan it. Be sure to scan it, because there are so many times in the early game where you have a couple of Illuvials and you go into it something like this, where you've got 4 Illuvials. There is 0% chance, 0% chance if this is the first thing that you get into that you are going to win. You're just not. So rather than wasting 625 energy, scan it, realize this is not what you want to do, turn back, and find something else. Because if you're not scanning, you're not optimizing the 5,000 energy that you have, and you're just going to be wasting your time. Especially in this beta when we've only got a set amount of fuel to go from stage 1 to stage 3 areas. If we fuck it up and we're not optimizing it, we're going to be left behind. So make sure you always scan and know if you're ready to go into that fight, because you don't want to make that mistake. The third beginner tip that I'm going to give you is to actually use your beacons, your teleportation beacons. The map is incredibly big. And you can see that if you were to die, if you were to fall into the acid or lose a battle, you're going to go all the way back to the obelisk. And if you've traveled all this way and there's more that you want to explore over here, it's going to take a long time to get back. So what I'd recommend is to press the F button every time you find something with a lot of resources around you. Place your beacon down. You're going to see Mozart do his thing. He spins around and creates a beacon. So now you can see, if I was to open up the map, go back to the obelisk, teleport there. I'm going to go back to that. Here I am back at the obelisk, and all I need to do to get back is again open up the map, go back to that beacon that I put down. You can see that this is the symbol for the teleport beacon, and that matches here. All I do now is click on that, and boom, we teleport straight back. And here we are back where we were. So you actually have 3 of these teleport beacons every single run. So it is a good idea where you find something that you want. Let's say you're focused on catching Illuvials, but you see a whole bunch of rocks and harvestables. Maybe place a beacon down, so once you're done with the capturing, you can just teleport straight back there to do what you need to do and actually clear that area. Tip number 4, and this is going to be super important, especially in the stage 1 to stage 3 areas, is I can't move my cursor because I am playing the game right now. But if you look at the bottom right, the lightning bolt shows you how much energy you have left. Make sure if you are going to the stage 1 to stage 3, you are using all of your energy. Like I mentioned before, in the private beta, we only have a limited amount of fuel, which means that if you're not using it, you're wasting your fuel. You're wasting the amount that you can get from this game every single time you play. It doesn't matter too much in the stage 0 areas because you can keep going and coming as you please. But if you are going to the stage 1 to stage 3, utilize every single drop of energy you possibly can. What I'd recommend is to go in with a plan. Understand, do you want to focus on capturing Illuvials? Do you want to go in and focus on harvesting or extracting? Spend all of your energy on that first, and whatever you have left over, use that on that second priority, whatever you need to do next. I highly doubt you're going to get to the third priority, but I mean, if you get to it, use it on that. Never ever go back to Sancta Mersa with energy still left over. The 5th beginner tip that I'm going to leave you with is to make sure that you focus on your upgrades. Over here in Sancta Mersa, you're going to find your forge, and this is going to be where you make your shards, where you upgrade your equipment, your drone, And the biggest thing that I'm going to recommend is that you upgrade your drone. This is going to be the thing that helps you throughout your entire journey in Illuvium. And what you're not going to know is there are going to be certain limitations, like the amount of Illuvials that you can hold in your deck, the amount of augments that you can hold in your deck, different things like this. What I would say is ignore your armaments, ignore your augments, ignore all of that. Double down and make Mozart the best that it can be before you even shift your focus on anything else. For example, this right here, the basic index capacitor, all of the index capacitors allow you to increase the amount of Illuvials that you have in your deck. So you only start with 5, and that makes things very difficult for you because you can't actually have a well-rounded team. But by focusing on this, you actually get to increase it by 4. So you're almost doubling the amount of Illuvials you get to carry. And yes, you're not going to need to use all of them, but having that option, having that variety with you at all times is going to make your life much easier. And you have other benefits like this as well, where it reduces the harvesting energy cost. So again, it's going to optimize your experience, optimize your time in the game. So believe me when I say the number one thing you have to do after capturing Illuvials is focus on building out your Mozart. That is going to be the most important thing. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys found the 5 beginner tips to be super helpful. Number 1 is jump when you shoot. You want to slow things down. Make sure you get your shot, shoot your shot, but make sure your shot hits. Number 2, scan your battles. Make sure you scan before you go in. The worst thing you want to do is to go in, find yourself that you have a 0% chance of winning. It's happened to me. Trust me, I wanted to break my fucking keyboard. It happens. But scan your battles. Make sure you're actually prepared and you understand what you're getting yourself into. Third tip, use your beacons. Save yourself the time from running around. This is a big map. You could play for an entire hour and still only complete not even half of the map. Use your beacons, find your areas that you want to really zone in on, and use those beacons to jump from each of those points. The 4th tip, use your energy. If you have energy, use it. There is no need to bring it back with you. You don't get bonus points. You don't do anything. Use all of your energy. And the 5th and final tip is focus on Mozart. He is your best friend. He is your boo. Treat him as such. Give him all the nice purses, all the nice upgrades. You are going to be thankful when he treats you right because of it. But that's it, guys. I hope this shit was helpful. I'll catch you guys later, and I'll see you in the Illuvium Overworld. Peace.